Hey, what is going on, everybody? Today we are going over the NFC North draft grade, and I completely want to begin with letting you all know thank you. I've gotten quite a bit of views. I know I've even gotten a couple subscribers, and I greatly appreciate that. So I just wanted to say thank you. I've been working really hard on these, and I want to make, and I know it's not a huge leap, but I do appreciate it nonetheless. Um, Starting off with the Chicago Bears. I'm gonna try to make these a little quicker today. I just want you all to know. The last four divisions, I hope, are gonna make it a little quicker. We're gonna start. They got Colston Loveland. I kind of like the pick. Um, Tyler Warren was probably the better tight end overall, but I kind of get why they went with him. I think he fit a little role a little better than Tyler Warren probably would have. Overall, I don't think you're going wrong getting the guy out of Michigan. I really like that pick for them. Luther Burden the third, wide receiver, Adam Missouri. Um, Luther Burden is a phenomenal pick. I find it crazy that he fell to 39. I know Higgins went as the first pick in the second round. Burden fell quite a bit down. I get it. I don't love it. I don't love that he fell. He's a really good player. I think the Bears absolutely cooked with that one for sure. Yeah, that's a pretty solid pick for them. Ozzy Trapilo, offensive tackle out of Boston College. You're never going to hear me complain about getting protection for your quarterback, especially Caleb Williams. He needs it. The guy had a pretty good year, even with a bad O line. Getting him some help. Really good play by them. God, I'm going to try not to list through this one. Shamar Turner, D tackle at Texas A&M. Really good player overall. I really like that they got him in round two. Um, Honestly, I'm kind of surprised he fell to 62. We probably could have went a bit tiny bit earlier, but I don't. There were a lot. There was a lot of that. But overall, that's a really good pick. That's a really good pickup from them. They needed a little bit more help on the D tackle position. Try to get your pass rushers out into the open field and get to the quarterback. The Bears need to do their bread and butter and get to the quarterback. That's what the Chicago Bears do, and that's a good start for it. Ruben Hippolyte, linebacker out of Maryland, really good football player. I think that you're really happy getting him. He probably won't see a ton of plays right out of the get go, but I think that he will find his way out there and that he will end up developing very well. I've liked everything that I have seen there. Zaw Frazier, corner out of Texas, San Antonio. He's probably going to be the last one I talk a bit about because I don't know if you're going to see these last two really get to play a lot this year. But I think that Frazier here does make them a tiny bit better. I think that they needed depth at the corner position, and you got him. So I think that you're super happy with that. Yeah, he's probably just a kick returner for the year, playing a lot of the special teams kind of stuff. But yeah, I love Frazier for them. And plus, he came from a small school, so I'm obviously going to be biased there because I want to see these guys make it. It'd be really cool. But yeah, not a single bad pick here. They've addressed some defensive issues. Only thing I think I would have liked to seen maybe is maybe your replacement receiver for Keenan Allen. But overall, this has been a really good draft. I do like Kyle Monaghan because I really do think you can get playing time out of him in year one. Luke Newman probably won't see a lot of time right out of the get go, but maybe he'll work his way in there. Overall, this is a really good one. A really good one. Um, I think an A minus works. Alrighty, we are on to the Green Bay Packers, a team that finished third despite having a phenomenal record. Maybe not phenomenal. I think it might have been 10-7. I'm not quite remembering. But either way, let's get right into the draft. You get Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas. Yeah, very good value at 23. If he's there, you got to take him. I get that. Yeah, really good pickup for them. That starts it off really well for them. He is very explosive. He's very good out on the. He's very good at catching the ball and making the moves that he needs to make. Yeah, Matthew Golden, really good pickup. Anthony Belton, the offensive tackle at NC State. Super happy to see him go here. I think that he's going to be a really good pick for them. Their O line has needed a little bit of help for years, so I think getting him here is really just you kind of letting yourself know that hey, we got to do a little bit of improving. And yeah, I think that's a great pick there. Okay, next, Savion Williams, wide receiver at a TCU. Now, I'm going to make this real quick. My one big knock on this whole draft here is going to be this right here. I think they should have went corner here. Um, but if they have a plan, they have a plan. I'm gonna understand that. But for me, I think right here is probably where you should have gone corner. Yeah, I know you're waiting on Jair Alexander, but I think you also needed a little bit extra help back there because you were kind of getting thrown on all season long. But the player himself, I think, is a very solid pick. Maybe you went a little early, but I don't. Yeah, no complaints whatsoever for me. I love the pick a lot for them. Okay, next up, I believe this was the last player left in the green room or whatever they call it. Baron Sorrell, Edge out of Texas. God, I hope I did not list all over that. I probably did, but yeah, no, whew, really good pick in round four. I think he's really talented. And they needed that. They need a guy that can go get pressure on the quarterback. And hey, you get him in round four. If he's in that draft room, I think that they had him high. So yeah, getting him in round four. Obviously, there's another player we're gonna talk about in the AFC North one that fell quite far. But yeah, no, really good pick for him. Okay, next up is okay. We don't have to worry about that. Colin Oliver, Edge, Oklahoma State University. Um, this will be the last one we really get into, to be honest with you, because I think round five is a good stopping point. The rest of these guys likely won't see a humongous amount of playing time, but I do hope that they do well. Warren Branson, D tackle out of Georgia, is very good. He has a lot of talent, just kind of needs a little bit of upkeep, a little bit of development, and he'll be just fine. Micah Robinson, the cornerback at a Tulane, very likely going to be think a lot of special teams, kick return, punt return, kind of practice squad work. We don't know if they're going to see the field. If they do, it's a great story. If they don't, then it's win-win. And the same goes for John Williams from Cincinnati. But Colin Oliver, I think, was it was an okay pick for them. If anything, he sees a little bit of time this year. I don't think you're doing anything wrong grabbing him here. Yeah, really I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that because you needed to get help on the pass rush. Okay, the fact that I do think you still needed to address the secondary, and yes, I understand Jair is probably coming back, but I think you need to do even more on that. I'm gonna leave this one at a B because there are a few fits over here that I'm really enjoying. All right, we are here with the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, I'm not going to have a lot of great things to say about this one. I'm going to be honest with you starting off, and that is really only because they made three picks. Um, I would have liked to see them do a little bit more to protect their new rookie quarterback. You start with Donovan Jackson. That is a great start. I think that you needed a tiny bit more here. That's going to be my only tiny complaint here. I think your defense is pretty stout. It's okay. It's solid for sure. Ty Felton, wide receiver in Maryland. I think he's going to be a plug and play kind of guy, and he's going to get the job done. Um, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, the D tackle out of Georgia, very good football player. Yeah, I love that pick for them. They needed a little bit more help up there. Their defense has been very stout. Flores is still there, so they're gonna have a way to play. Yeah, no, I that one's a really good pick right there for them. I like that. We'll talk a little bit about Kobe King, and that is mostly because he fell. Gavin Bartholomew, I do think will see some playing time, so I like that pick for them a lot. Hawkinson has unfortunately been a little bit unhealthy. I'm not saying that Bartholomew is going to be right behind him, but I don't think that it's a bad pick whatsoever because I've seen what he can do in the blocking game, and he's really, really good at it. Kobe King fell pretty far. He was higher up a little while ago, um, so uh, this was a this could be a really, really good pick. That's really the only reason I'm talking about him real quick is because he fell quite a bit. Yeah, no, I don't think you're doing anything wrong grabbing this guy right here. Um, I think that these two picks back to back could honestly see a tiny bit of playing time. Overall, um, you did address the offensive guard. You got to probably do slot receiver, D tackle. There wasn't a whole lot they needed. Um, you're just hoping JJ kind of develops. We'll give him a B minus because there's just not really enough here to really talk about. If that right, we are on the Detroit Lions. One pride, baby. Heck yeah. They started with Tyleek Williams. I know a lot of people thought that was a little early, but I think at that point there was not a lot of great edge rushers right off the go, unless it was Mike Green, and he fell for reasons that were beyond football, unfortunately. But I don't think there's anything wrong grabbing him here because I think that if you wait, he's probably taken. I don't that's the only reason I'm not going to be knock on it too much. I think that that's okay. Um, I do like that pick for them because they do need help on the front. You've lost a lot of coaches, so your new defensive coordinator, which I believe is Calvin Shepard, you get him a little bit of a piece to work with. Not bad at all over there. Tate Ratledge, the guard out of Georgia, I think that he's likely a Kevin Zeitler replacement. And yeah, that's completely fine. Um, Georgia's offense was not phenomenal, but I don't think it all had to do with their O line. I think it had a lot to do with their quarterback and wide receiver play. So I still think Tate Ratledge is the right play there. Yeah, that's a pretty solid pick for them because you still had to fill that hole. Your whole work is due to the O line, and yeah. Isaac Tesla, wide receiver out of Arkansas. Um, or as my boy Rich Eisen said on the show, Arkansas. Either way, I really like the pick for them, and it's mostly because I think that they needed a third one. Um, you can rock with Tim Patrick. I don't know if they brought him back, but you can rock with Tim Patrick. But I think consistency is still a thing that you have to worry about a tiny bit there. So getting a little bit of youth there is probably not the baddest move. I think that I'm not mad at that one at all for them. Okay, Miles Frazier, I'm not going to be able to talk too much about, um, and that's okay. Um, we'll kind of move a little bit forward with Dan Jackson, Dominic Lovett too. I do want to quickly say shout out to them for making it. I think that they're going to do, and you never know, they could be really okay. They could be fine football players, and that we're and when all said and done, we just didn't give enough love. I think that they could both make the roster, and that's going to be really good for them. Miles Frazier, I don't think is going to see too much time on the football field, at least this year, but he could definitely work his way up there. We've seen a lot of good players for them, like Dan Skipper has climbed his way up here and there. Yeah, Miles Frazier could be that next story. Um, and I know I said we wouldn't talk too much about these round six, round seven picks, but I do want to quickly state Ahmed Hassanin because believe he was from. I forgot where they said he was from on the broadcast, but I want to give him a quick shout out for them. Um, he played really well in college, so I hope to see him make it in the NFL. But either way, I don't think that that's a bad pickup whatsoever. He's going to be a guy that's going to be probably trying to hit people on special teams and even maybe being placed in as a replacement here and there. We know that their defense had a lot of issues, and I think that that's why that needed to be addressed. The Lions have done a pretty decent job in free agency of getting a little bit of help here and there. Overall, the draft is just kind of mediocre to me. Um, and obviously we're gonna be wrong, and I'm risking that myself putting that out there. We're gonna be wrong in a lot of cases, and I think that I really like. While I like the Lions' start, there's a little bit more left to be desired at linebacker, maybe a little bit more help in the secondary, but I think that that's mostly depth pieces that you probably need. I think this is a B draft. I don't think it's anything to write home about. I don't think it's anything god awful. I think that it's okay. It's okay. It don't do a lot for me, but it's fine. But that is going to be it for the NFC North. I do appreciate you again. I want to make sure I say that. Um, hey, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and you want to talk to me, you want to yell at me, I'm completely fine with that. I appreciate you all so very much. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ I am Cody Lear. Hopefully, I can figure out how to put my other ones out here, my other social media platforms, so that you can talk to me and yeah, we can do all that. But that is going to be it for this one. I have 3 more of these to knock out. I do appreciate you all so very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time.